Street Nation's excitement is electrified as Bruce's highly anticipated 2023 tour is officially underway. Welcome to an open forum for you to call in and talk about Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Is there anybody alive out there? Call us at 877-70-BRUCE. 877
Bruce Springsteen, and again, the number is 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. Greg Drew not with us this week, but I do have a special guest co-host. I've been doing this since we've brought back E Street Nation. So joining us this week, we spoke on Wednesday at the tailgate outside of MetLife Stadium. JT Mahoney, welcome to E Street Radio.
Glad to be here, Jim. Glad to be here.
So we met last year for those that don't know, we talked about this on Wednesday. We met last year at the Southside Johnny show in Asbury Park at the summer stage, and you had told me that you were studying radio and communications. So what school was it again?
I'm currently enrolled in a school in upstate New York known as Dutchess Community College.
Okay. Right. And so you were studying communications, radio and television broadcasting. And so I said, well, let's figure out a way to get you up on the channel because you're a Bruce fan, of course. And so here we are, just about a year later.
Yeah, I think it was September 4th of 2022.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. So here we are. And we're going to be talking for the next couple of hours here. We have to address right off the bat the breaking news, of course, the shows in September being postponed due to a peptic ulcer Bruce is suffering with right now. And that's all we know at this point. And, you know, if you know anybody that's had an ulcer, I've had a friend of two of mine that have had ulcers. I've had family members. You know, the most important thing you can do is just rest at this point. And so it's taxing on the body. You know, you have to remember this man is of a certain age. And although you wouldn't know it if you saw him at MetLife this past weekend. Wow. We're going to get to that. But, you know, right now rest is really important for him, and he needs that so he can continue. He's bummed out about it as much as we are. The good news is that he'll heal up from this most likely, and the shows will be rescheduled. So we have that to look forward to. If you do have tickets for the show, any of those shows in September, they're going to be rescheduled. So if you bought them through Ticketmaster or whatever ticket service was supplying them, you'll get an email once the dates are rescheduled. Now, nobody knows when they're going to be yet. Philadelphia has been rescheduled till next year. There might be a chance that happens with these shows as well till next September. Who knows? So in the meantime, we just kind of have to be patient with that. You know, the good news is that if everything goes well, he'll take the rest of September and October off. And then there's shows back in November up north in Canada, and then eventually the West Coast to round out the end of the year with the tour. So that's all we have to go on right now, unfortunately. I wish there was more news we had, but other than that, I know we're all disappointed. If you were at the MetLife shows this past weekend, or if you were at the Gillette shows, we're going to talk with you about that as well. And again, the number is 877-70-BRUCE. We're going to be getting some calls up in just a little bit. We're just having some screening issues. So once we get those resolved, we'll be taking calls as well. Some other really cool news, just to give you guys a heads up what we've got going on today here at the show. We've got Donna from Bruce Funds that'll be checking in. I'm sure her whole ticket world just got blown up. We'll figure out what that's all about with her, as well as Howie, the warden of the Springnuts Asylum. He'll be here as well, calling in. The Springnuts had their serenade the other day. JT, did you go to that?
I did. I was there on August 31st.
Okay, good. We'll talk with you about that as well, because Howie will be on. And congratulations, Springnuts. You guys raised a lot of money for Why Hunger. So we want to talk about that. Want to talk about the night and how that all happened as well. So we'll get to all that in just a little bit. Once again, the number is 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. We'll be taking your calls. We'll be talking about the shows. If you have any other questions regarding that, we can do that. So just stick with us. We'll be back in a little bit. And again, the number is 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. Back here on Live from East Street Nation, 877-70-BRUCE, 877-707-7823. JT Mahoney is my guest co-host this week.
Yep, glad to be here.
As we get to the phones, this is Laura in New Jersey up first. Hi, Laura.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
A little sad about the news about Bruce, but we're okay with that. He's got to heal.
Yeah. Again, it's a time thing. You know, these kinds of things are just, rest is the best medicine right now. I'm sure there's probably some other prescription medication involved, but,
Absolutely.
you need some time out. Were you at any of the shows in Jersey?
I was at all three. That's why I'm calling in.
All right.
And I know he canceled those Philly shows, and we really didn't know what to expect or what was going on. But I got to tell you, the first show, he looked like he was hurting a little bit. He was a little bit slower. He wasn't jumping around normally like he used to. You could just tell he was seemed like something was off.
That's interesting.
That was
you
Wednesday.
picked that out.
Yeah.
I missed that completely.
Yeah, I just thought, you know what? He doesn't seem like himself. He doesn't feel well. Nobody knew, obviously, he was at COVID. Who knows? But by Friday and Sunday, it was absolutely amazing. He seemed like he was back to his old self. And honestly, this guy, at his age, I had to sit down a couple of times during the show. I don't know how he keeps up.
Yeah, it was kind of exhausting. But, there was something that I did pick up on. And, JT, you were at the Friday show, right?
Yes, I was at the Friday show.
Okay, where were you sitting, or were you in the pit?
I was high up. I was in section 325.
Okay, so you were up there a bit.
Yeah.
So this is what I picked up on Laura, and I don't know if you noticed this. You know how the stage, he's in the middle of the stage, and then there's Stevie's side and Susie's side, and then there were the platforms that go all the way down to like the sides of the stadium almost, right?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed in night 2, he did not go down all the way down those ramps, either side. Well, maybe he did on Susie's side, but I was over on Steven's side, and I met this really nice couple that they were talking about, and they were right on the rail. And I thought, okay, well, that's a great spot when he comes this way. And so I started getting closer and closer, but he never made it all the way down. Now, that could mean anything. It may not have anything to do with the fact of how he was feeling or whatever. It was just something I picked up on.
Right. I picked on that. The same thing on the Wednesday night show. I felt the same way. He didn't play to the right side of the stage going down that ramp as much as he normally does. So we just figured he didn't feel good. I mean, the guy's amazing. It doesn't matter. If he could stand still in one spot, it would still be an amazing concert.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. So did you have other tickets for the show? Any of the shows this month?
Yeah, I went all... no, but I was actually going to go to Baltimore, and this whole article came up, and I'm like, oh, my God, we were just about to buy tickets, and now poor guy's canceling.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was... where was I going? Oh, yeah, I was going to Albany. Good thing I prepaid for the hotel room that's non-refundable.
I flew into, I saw him in Houston on Valentine's Day. We flew into Houston for the show, and it was a little iffy then, too, because a couple of the band members were out. So, it's always a shot. Are they going to cancel? Are they not? But everything was great.
All right, good. Well, I'm glad you had a great time. Thanks for calling in, Lauren. Thanks for sharing your experience with us.
Thanks so much.
All right, take care. 877-70-BRUCE. This is Shannon in Ohio. Hi, Shannon.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm in Columbus. I'm a Jersey girl by birth. I feel like I have to say that.
All right.
And a little disappointed, obviously, with the news. I was so excited to go in March to the Columbus show. Wasn't paying attention. I was just trying to get through the work day. Took the Uber up there and then saw the sign. I thought, I was like, what? But had I not gone, everyone makes the best of it. I met a bunch of spring nuts the first time. Next door, and people hung out and sang songs, and so that was the silver lining.
Mm-hmm.
I was slated to go to the Philly show on the Friday show, and that was also, just didn't happen. But obviously, hoping for the best in his well-being and his health. But I'm confident I will get to see a show.
All right. Well, wait, Shannon. So both shows that you tried to go to were postponed?
Yes, I was 0 for 2.
Okay.
0 for 3 with last night's reschedule.
Has anybody said maybe it's you?
Well, that was kind of my joke. I was quoting. I'm like, it's me. I'm the problem. No, I feel like, again, had I not met the Spring Nuts, I would have not got, kind of looped into the Facebook page and just seeing the show that took place and the pictures from the Meadowlands on Sunday, and I had cousins there. I just can't. The show that he puts on, that they all put on, is just, it's shocking. Like your caller before, I'm tired after running my daughter around. So I feel like maybe I am the problem, but
No.
I'm not going to be negative. I'm kidding.
I know.
I'm not the only one, obviously.
Yeah, and those shows will be rescheduled, and you'll be able to see them at some point. So it's going to happen. I mean, and Bruce even said in his statement how disappointed he is as well. I mean, he's, seeing those shows this past weekend, I mean, the guy was on fire. The whole band was on fire, right, JT?
The tightest band I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen plenty of other bands as well.
Yeah, just really just solid, and just loving the experience and interacting with the fans and all of it. So, I mean, I'm sure he's got to be just as disappointed as we all are.
I'm sure. I had some friends who had never seen him, and I have friends who went to the show in Foxborough, and I've been talking about years, like, once you go, it's a spiritual experience. I mean, it feeds off the band, the crowd. And when he returned, I mean, he and his wife were sending me messages. And he said, he's a musician, he said, I'm embarrassed it took me this long to go see them. So I'm happy that some people got to see him for the first time. You see families going, and kids and grown adults and their grandparents. I mean, it's special. And, sometimes if you're not in it and you don't get it, not to sound condescending, but when people go, they're like, oh, now I get it.
No.
I get it. And so I'm holding out.
Absolutely. JT?
I was going to say, I took my girlfriend and my friend Bill for the first time ever. That was their first time seeing Bruce, was at the Friday night show at the Meadowlands. And you're right, though. They were blown away by his performance. They've seen Paul McCartney and you name it. But it was like they were in shock by his performance. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always fun taking somebody to their first show. That's a great time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you're convincing people if they haven't been. Like, no, wait till you see. Wait. And then they're like, oh, I get it. And I was grateful for some of the stuff that I saw from the shows in the Meadowlands. And I was really thrilled for my cousins who got to go, and lifelong fans, and some of their pictures. And you can see just the joy on people's faces. And they brought it. He brought it. I was like, I was screaming in my house. My daughter is 16. I'm like, he's going to be 74. It's so great for, as I'm 54, and it's like, that's, we may not all be Bruce in the stands, but you just got to remember, like, you can really, like, live this full life. It's inspiring.
That it is.
That's what I'll leave it at that.
That it is, Shannon. Good to talk with you. I'm glad you called in. Thank you.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. 877-70-BRUCE. Let's talk with, this is Cassidy in Rahway, New Jersey.
Yep.
All right.
Rahway.
How are you, Cassidy?
Good. We're actually driving to Syracuse because we had tickets for the show, but, hotel's non-refundable. So we're going to check out some of the museums and restaurants in the area and still have a good time.
Yeah, it's. I just mentioned before my hotel room in Albany is non-refundable. So I don't know what's doing up in Albany. I've got to check out some restaurants and see what's fun in for the night. Because why not go?
Right.
Did you see other shows on the tour?
Yeah, so I was at the past 3 shows at the Meadowlands, and I thought they were absolutely phenomenal. I'm the girl who dressed up as Annie the first night.
Oh, that's you. Okay, so let's explain that, Cassidy, to everybody. So why did you dress up like Little Orphan Annie, right?
Yes. So I wanted to request a song, but in a way that would catch Bruce's attention. So I know that in the past, people had dressed up as Santa Claus to request Santa Claus is coming to town. And I know that you mentioned on the show one time that someone dressed up as a priest.
Yes.
So I was trying to think of something that could relate. And, I really love Song for Orphans. I love most of Letter to You and his early 70s stuff. So I just thought I could dress up as this iconic orphan and it would really stand out. And, it did. He pointed at me and he laughed at my sign. He didn't play the song. I didn't expect him to, but, I was happy about the acknowledgement.
What was the sign? Did it just say Song for Orphans or?
It said Song for Orphans, and then I drew a picture of Annie, the cartoon strip, the comic strip, and then I wrote Leap and Lizards.
Nice. Nice.
That was a great idea. I love this. I love when the fans go above and beyond, like you did. And there, like I said, there was somebody, I don't remember what show it was. They dressed as a priest for If I Was the Priest.
Yep.
I love the Santa Claus. That's fun to me, and I'm glad Bruce got to see you and at least acknowledge it.
Yeah. So I had fun doing it, and then the third night during Spirit in the Night, he sat on the rail in front of my mom and started singing to me. So I had 2 really great Bruce moments this weekend.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very good. Well, you're a hero for those that wanted to hear Song for Orphans, Cassidy. I love that. I'll play the song for you now. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much, Jim.
All right. Thanks for calling in. All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got Howie, the warden for the Springnuts Asylum. We're going to recap the Serenade 2023 that happened last week in between the Bruce shows out in MetLife Stadium. And JT, our guest co-host, was there as well, so we'll get his input on the night as well. And more of your calls at 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. It's live from East Street Nation. Yeah, that would have been nice to hear live. Song for Orphans. It's live from East Street Nation. My guest co-host this week is JT Mahoney. Having a good time so far, JT?
Having an absolute blast, Jim.
Cool. So JT is a spring nut, and this past weekend, in the midst of those 3 shows at MetLife Stadium, it was the annual Spring Nut Serenade, which raised a lot of money. I'm going to find out right now because we've got Howie Chaz, the warden of the Spring Nut Asylum, joining us. Howie, it's Jim and JT. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Jim. Hey, JT. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in. So congratulations to you and all the Spring Nuts. It sounded like it was a huge success. I mean, you're still recovering from everything? You've had a long week.
Yeah, it was just scraping us off the floor right now. We're still definitely recovering. But it was a great week to have. It just happened to, work out that, we did it in between Bruce's first 2 shows. As you know, we usually do it in Asbury in May, but, Bruce was touring in Europe, and it just didn't make sense, where everyone was going to be scattered. So when Bruce announced the MetLife shows, and we saw this was Julie's idea that, in between shows 1 and 2, there was a gap. And we said, okay, let's see if we could find a place in Rutherford. And we found this place called Red's Bar and Restaurant, which is really around the block from MetLife. And they were amazing hosts. I can't thank them enough for everything that they did. They were great partners in this. And, we had show 1 and, very little time to recover, and then right into the Serenade. JT, I didn't realize that you were there. I don't know if we got a chance to meet, but if I didn't, I apologize for that.
Don't worry, Howie. I was able to see you. Don't worry.
Okay, good. Good. But it was an amazing event. Originally the event was supposed to be around from 5 to 11. It ended up going to like 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but how,
that's how it happens. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how it happens. And you would think they would be tired from the night before, and knowing that they had the show on Friday, they would say, I need to get to bed and get ready. But, when they were just having a great time, and I'm really happy about that. We did raise an incredible amount of money for Why Hunger. We raised $34,000 for the charity this year.
That's great. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, and, listen, that's a testament to the group. The group is, very generous, and, this is just didn't come from the people that came to the event. It came from donations from people that didn't come from the event. This just shows you, how generous this group can be.
That they are.
We had,
yes.
I appreciate that. And, plus this year, which we never done before, like I said, we usually have it in Asbury when we do it, Danny Clinton's gallery. But, this year we said, how can we make this a little, take it to another level? And we reached out to Nikki Germain, who has an amazing book out, Springsteen Liberty Hall.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, Nikki, would you want to be part of this? And again, this is, even though she's not particularly in the band. It's an off night, maybe she wanted to spend time with Gary or whatever. So she was all over it, and she said, let's do this. And it was she sold every book that she brought with her, so that was great. And for a surprise, Gary Talent showed up.
Yeah.
At the event.
Yep.
And that was just part one. And Gary, like as we all know, is a sweetheart of a guy. But he's laid back. He's not in the limelight. He likes to sit back and do his thing and whatever. But I can't begin to tell you how amazing he was. I mean, obviously having an East Street Band member at a serenade is surreal, and he took pictures with everyone that came up to him. He was so gracious and giving, and it was amazing. And then on top of that, which was was a major plus, and I can't begin to even describe this, is that so we found out that Anthony Almonte and Ozzy Melendez was going to come, and they hit me up, and it's so funny how it happened, because this just shows you the dedication to the fans and their testament is because so after MetLife won, after we extended the invitation to everybody that we usually do, MetLife won ended. Half an hour after the show, I was driving back, with Julie, and I get a text from Anthony. And this is a half an hour after they just performed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think they're going to bed, they're chilling out, they're eating, whatever. Anthony messages me and says, Howie, I'm coming. I'm bringing Ozzy with me. We'll be there. We'll be there at 7 o'clock. We'll meet you, And I was blown away. Again, it just was, to me, to be honest with you, I would never put it out there, but I said I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
But sure enough, at the serenade, he calls me. I'm in the parking lot. We see them, and again, it was a surprise. We brought him upstairs with Nikki and Gary, and when they walked up to Red's 2 floors, so we had the first floor was the bar and the dancing, and then the second floor we segregated to the book signing and buffet, and to have the band members up there. And when they walked upstairs and they came out of the elevator, the place just exploded.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's great.
So the one thing I got to say is that I just expected all of them, when I mean all of them, I mean Gary or, Anthony or Ozzy, just, take one group photo, say hi, wave, whatever, and, be off on their way. Okay, Gary was there for 5 hours, and the Ozzy and Anthony stayed for 4 hours, and they took pictures with every single person that was there, okay, separately.
Wow.
Which I never asked them to do.
JT, did you get pictures?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Big time.
Cool.
And we actually felt bad, and we said to them, me and Amy and Julie, we said, listen, this is not what we expected you. We feel terrible. We don't want you to sit here and spend the whole night just, and there was a line going from downstairs to the second floor to take these pictures now. So it turned into a different type of, element. And they said, he just turned to me, both of them, they said, Howie, we are good. We're enjoying this. We're enjoying the interaction with the fans. And that speaks volumes for them.
Yeah.
So it just shows you what the East Street Band, whether you're, in the background or whether in the front, what their mindset is. It's really, truly amazing.
Well, you and Julie did an amazing job putting this whole thing together. And it's great that you picked Reds because, where the stadium is, there's nothing around except Reds, which is like perfect place to have it. A lot of people, I think, stayed in the hotels around that area. I don't know if you were listening a couple of weeks ago, Howie, but I mentioned, being that I'm from somewhat around that area, if people were calling, I had some advice for them to, where to eat or something. But I did recommend that Reds is a great place. So I'm good. I'm glad that you found that spot to do the serenade this year.
Yeah, and they were, like I said, they were great hosts. They did everything and anything that we needed to do. And people were going there, after the serenade. They between every show and everything. And I actually spoke to Doug Polisi, who is the owner of Reds, and he's in mourning right now because we left, because it was so much fun, and and he said he was so overwhelmed by the love and the interaction that they had with them and with each other. And I said, well, this is what the group is supposed to be about, so I'm glad you got to see that side of it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Reds is for people that don't know, Reds is a stadium, it's a restaurant bar area that's right outside the sort of the grounds of MetLife Stadium and the whole Meadowlands complex there. And if you're going to a concert at the stadium, you should go there before the show, get something to eat, something to drink, and then they even have a little shuttle bus that kind of takes you into the stadium area, so you don't have to cross a major highway to get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's cool. So that's awesome, Howie. Wonderful to hear. I mean, I'm sure you know the bad news that Bruce announced last night. Were you heading to any of the other shows this month?
I was not. MetLife 3 was probably going to be my last show for a while, but I was definitely shocked about it. I feel for him greatly. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be, the same sentiment by many of your callers today, but, you have to think about what Bruce just did just for MetLife in general, if we're just going to use the last 3 shows as a litmus test, that obviously this is not something that just came about. This is something that he's been going through for a while.
Yeah.
And the fact that he put on a show and, these shows at the level that he does, and he could have easily postponed these shows as well, and he didn't. And not only he just put on incredible epic 3 shows that were will last a lifetime. So it's just, again, it's another part of his legacy that just shows that he never mails it in. He's always delivers healthy or sick, and it's just I feel for him. I wish him a speedy recovery. He should take his time, and we'll be waiting for him when he gets back.
Yeah. I mean, nothing you can do right now but rest and get better, Bruce. And their show's scheduled for Canada and the West Coast in November and December. So hopefully he'll be back in good form and ready to bring those shows back for the rest of the tour. And the September shows will be rescheduled again. So they will happen. It's just a little further on down the road. So that's what's, unfortunately, I know everybody's disappointed. And like I said earlier, Bruce and the band are just as disappointed as we are because they love doing what they do and they get to play for us.
Yeah.
And you just never know. That's why it's always important to keep in mind that we never know everything. We're definitely not in the loop when things get canceled or postponed or whatnot, and we just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So we have to be a little bit more patient and understanding that whatever's happening, there's a reason for it. And this shows that now that it's come out, everyone's obviously, wants Bruce to get well and they're sympathetic, but we should always keep in mind if things are not going our way, when things get canceled, there is a reason for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Howie, we've been talking here about the Spring Nuts, and there's probably listeners that are somewhere around the U.S. or in North America, and they're saying to themselves, what is this Spring Nut thing, and how do I become a part of it? So do you want to direct people on how they can become part of this group?
Well, it's Spring Nuts is a Facebook group that started out as a Facebook group. It's I guess this is the time I should take to speak about what we really are, because gets lost in the shuffle here, and I hope JT can attest to this, and I hope this is the case for him as well. We're not just a bunch of obsessive fans. We're not just a fan group. There's a million great fan groups out there, and we're just one of many, and we're all in this together. We're not better. We're not worse. Spring Nuts is more of a community. It's all about, not just about Bruce and his music, but it's mainly about friendships and connections, and having these events and raising money for good causes and really walking the walk. So we get. I would dare to say that we have many. We get together more than most groups do to do these type of things and to promote positivity, to promote good things, especially in this excuse my language, crazy ass world that we're living in. It's just we're trying to make you guys, to make a place where you can have a distraction from all that, and that's why, all kidding aside, when they're saying warden and all this stuff, it's just because we're trying to maintain. We're trying to give you a fun place to be.
Yeah.
And, it's like I always say, it's like when you're going on vacation. When you go on vacation, you want to leave all your baggage behind and enjoy your vacation. You don't want to take the baggage with you. And that's what we're trying to do, at least for a couple hours or, whatever it is. You can come to this group, Spring Nuts, and enjoy yourself. And I'm not saying everyone's great, and I'm not saying everyone is, holds themselves to the greatest degree, but that's an individual thing. As far as the group, what the group represents is community, friendships, positivity, and connections. And if you're on board with that, then this is the group for you. If you have things that you feel like you just want to complain about, then I can guarantee you this is not the group for you.
Yeah.
And that's what separates us, I feel, from other groups. Now, that being said, to join the group, all you have to do is send a request, a group request to our Facebook group. It's spring.nuts. And, just enjoy each other and be empathetic and sympathetic and want to do the right things and have fun. That's what this is. I know this is internet. I know it's social media, and it's hard to, you're going to get what you get. But the bottom line is, if you want to have a good time and enjoy friendships and make friendships forever, okay, literally this group was started 8 years ago, okay, we were 500 members, okay, and now between all of our social media, we're almost at 60,000.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and it's really not about the numbers. It's not the quantity. It is the quality, because I do like to think that, in the end, the majority of the group is good-hearted, and we prove that. Not to just throw it out there like, you this better than I would, Jim. When to have Bruce last year we had Bruce send us that message.
Yes.
To the Stone Pony,
Which was great.
That was incredible.
And that was something that obviously we always invite everyone to the Serenade, even the East Street Band, whatever it is. And listen, you know this better than me. Bruce is not just going to send out a video and say the word Spring Nuts if our reputation didn't carry any weight. At least 8 years in.
Absolutely.
And that's something that we fight very hard for. That I fight very hard for, and it means our reputation means a lot. You've been, you personally, Jim, and your station, has been a huge supporter of us, and I always greatly appreciate that, and I always will. But again, we stand for something, and Bruce is not going to just put his name on something, or at least acknowledge us at that point if we didn't, we weren't doing the right things. So I like to say that was a vindication, and also it was something that said we're doing good things.
Yeah, well, you are, Howie. You guys are doing good things, and again, raised a lot of money, and that's so awesome that the group came together to go out for a good cause and have a great time as well. Celebrating the 3 concerts at MetLife Stadium, but it all works really well together. And I always check out the fan page to see what's going on, see who's commenting on things, and people post their photos and videos, and it's a fun thing to check out. So if it's something you're interested in, Howie set it up again for you. Howie, what is it? If they want to be a member, where do they go again?
It's spring.nuts on. I'm not spring.nuts. It's spring-nuts on Facebook. And Spring Nuts on Twitter.
There you go.
And that's how you become a member. There's no initiation. There's no nothing.
Right.
All you have to do, your only rules are is to be nice to one another, enjoy the group, interact, and have a good time. And if you can't do that, then I am sorry. But otherwise, that's the easiest initiation you could ever ask for.
There you go. Howie, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. Once again, congratulations to you and the Spring Nuts on another fantastic Serenade, another successful one. I'm sure you're already starting to plan next year.
I don't know about that, but I do appreciate everything, Jim, and as always, you've always been great with us and great with me personally. So for that, I thank you. JT, I hope you had a great time at the Serenade. I'm loving the show. And if I can, Jim, I just want to mention one other thing
Yeah.
that we're doing on Sunday. So on Sunday, if anyone is in Asbury Park, we have Alexandra Jardval and Chris Fritz and Jake Tissel. We have a show at Asbury Lanes. This show is going to be in support of the Endometriosis Foundation of America. It's something that Alexandra, who's from Sweden, came all the way from Sweden to perform here. It's a dream of her to perform in Asbury, and it's something that she suffers from. If anyone is, in the area in Asbury on Sunday, the show's at 2:00. We'd love for you to join us and just come on by. And I just wanted to let people know that we're doing this as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Howie. I appreciate you promoting that.
Jim.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Be well, my friend.
All right, take care. Howie Chaz, the the warden of the Springnut Asylum.
The warden.
We
Jim.
say that as a joke, but him and Julie do a lot, and setting up all the Springnut events and keeping the website and the Facebook page going in the group and everything. And you know all about that, JT.
Yeah, I can testify. He does a lot of really, really hard work to make that group work and make the serenades work as well as they do. And he does a fantastic job.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got more calls on the way. I think we'll be hearing from Donna from Bruce Funds. We'll talk with her, and we want to talk with you. We want to get your thoughts on the shows. If you've been to any of the concerts, especially last week at MetLife Stadium, the number is 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. We'll send this one out to all the Springnuts. It's live from East Street Nation, 877-70-BRUCE. Jim Rotolo. JT Mahoney is my guest co-host this week, and we're having a blast taking calls and talking about the concert experience. Thank you to Howie Chaz from the Springnuts calling in and telling us about the success of the serenade that happened last Thursday. And we've got more calls coming up as we get into the second hour of the show this week. All right, JT, what have we covered so far? We've covered just about everything as far as the tour. Right?
Postponed dates,
Right.
Philadelphia. We've also covered, Springnuts with Howie Chaz calling, of course. We haven't really touched on the callers yet.
No, we need to get to some more callers, so we're going to do that now. We've got Steve, who's been holding patiently. Good morning, Steve. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
Good. How's it going?
Fantastic. So I guess we're in the same boat as a lot of people. We're on our way from Toronto, actually just outside of Toronto, a little city called Oshawa. Driving down for the show, Syracuse tonight, non-refundable hotel, so let's make a couple's retreat out of it.
Yeah, what's happening in Syracuse is going to be rocking tonight. All the restaurants, you're going to have a tough time getting a table. Woohoo!
Listen, I'm in the car with my beautiful wife, Pam, so she's a Springsteen fan as well. It's actually a birthday present for me, so I couldn't be happier. We were trying to decide what city. We decided on Syracuse, and unfortunately, probably earlier in the tour is always better, but I'm sure it would have been a great show just the same.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, for all of you that are traveling, and I know there's a bunch of you that are on the road right now planning on going to Syracuse, I feel for you. I did the trip to Philly a couple of weeks ago and to find out at the Hard Rock Cafe that there was no show as well. So I didn't even know till I pulled up and paid for parking.
Oh, no. Oh, yikes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was already in town when I found out.
We got the notification last night at 11:30. We sort of said, we got a hotel in Watertown, so let's just head down and take care of this. Probably seemed like the easier thing to do.
Yeah.
But as far as everything's concerned, it was, it's going to be a great trip. And Cassidy was speaking earlier about Syracuse, a great place to have dinner. If I can give a quick little plug here, Jim, with your permission.
Ahead. Go for it.
Dinosaur Barbecue on North Franklin Street.
Yes.
You'll never get a bad meal there.
Yes, that's a famous spot from what I understand in Syracuse, Dinosaur Barbecue. In fact, I think they even moved one, or they have a location here in New Jersey outside around the Prudential Center in Newark, where Bruce played earlier this year. I don't know if it's still there. I could always hit the Google machine and find out. But I've heard about Dinosaur Barbecue. I am a huge barbecue fan, and if I was there, I'd be going.
Gotta love barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid food. So 2 quick things before I let you go.
Yep.
The first one is, if we got time, Jim, if we could play Tougher Than the Rest, either an acoustic version or a piano version for my beautiful wife. And the last question is for you, Mr. Rotolo. Giants or the Jets, who are going to have a better season this year?
Oh, good question. Oof. Good question. Opening night is tonight. What do we got? Chiefs and Lions tonight. I'd like to think, I know the Jets went all in on Aaron Rodgers and he's awesome and all of that. The Jets are in a tougher division than the Giants are this year. I think, I outside of Philadelphia, to all the Dallas Cowboy fans out there, I apologize. I don't think that they're as much of a threat as they've been. Philly's still the team to beat there. The Washington Commanders aren't much of a team this year, unfortunately. They're in rebuilding. So I have to say that the Giants added, Waller to their tight end position, which is a huge bonus for them. Saquon Barkley remains healthy. I think the Giants have a better season than the Jets do. And I have friends of mine that are Jet fans, and they're not going to be happy with my comments, especially me being a former Jet season ticket holder. But I got to say the Giants have a better season.
I agree, because I think Barkley is going to be very, very motivated to prove the Giants should have paid him more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, enjoy.
Yes. This was awesome, Jim. Thanks for having me, eh?
Oh, no problem, Steve. Glad you called in. And today's your birthday?
No, August 1st it was. So
okay.
We're a little behind, but this was the earliest date we could find a place. So.
All right. Well, happy birthday anyway. Enjoy your time in Syracuse. Enjoy the barbecue.
Thanks, my friend.
All right, take care. Let's get a couple. I got Donna from Bruce Funds. Oh, she dropped. All right, I'll have her. We'll get her back up in a little bit. She'll drop in.
Yeah.
Robin in Washington. Robin in Michigan. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. So it says here, super fan, 39 years. Okay, tell me about it.
Never missed a tour since my first concert, and I talked to you before. I was going to try to make it to the tailgate, but I had a tree fall on my house in a storm here in Michigan, and I had to find a new place to live.
Oh my goodness!
I wasn't in the house when it happened, so that was a good.
That was a good thing.
Yeah, but I was going to come to the tailgate and do some yoga with you, Jim. Remember that?
That's right. That's right. We talked about that. I could have used it. Yeah. It was after the broadcast. I was in this little dark tent. JT was with me where we did the broadcast.
Oh yeah,
it was like a cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have used a little stretching out after the show.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you could have used some sun salutations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
I
yes.
really can never miss a tour. I mean, when tickets go on sale, I'm just frantic till I get one. And I went to Amsterdam. He was fabulous there. But I really would love to see him in New Jersey. And I'm just praying and hoping for his good health to return. And maybe he'll end the tour. I just have to believe he might end this whole tour back in New Jersey. That just seems right, Well,
we'll see. The rescheduling, I mean, there was... When the rescheduled shows for Philadelphia, when people found out that it was going to be in August of next year, that started fueling rumors about, well, there'll be a tour next year, obviously, because he's not just going to play 2 shows with the band in Philadelphia in August. And now these shows have been postponed. Nobody knows when these will be rescheduled yet. They might be next year, next September. So I don't know right now, everything is up in the air as far as how they're going to figure out what's coming in the next, we know what's scheduled for the rest of this year, but we don't know what 2024 looks like.
Yep.
Right. I was thinking of going to the Columbus show, but of course this is all, Bruce has to heal. And I will put a shout out to Bruce if he's listening. I am a certified yoga teacher, and yoga can help with reducing stress and helping with the healing process of peptic ulcers. It's documented. I've researched it. Anyways, I would drop everything to teach him a few lessons.
All right.
Put it that way.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would appreciate that, Robin. I know he's a man who takes care of his fitness.
I'm working just a job right now to get through some times here and teaching yoga. And it's nothing I wouldn't just get in my car and make a drive to New Jersey for.
Oh.
That's just how I am. I did get to meet Bruce. I just want to go over this real quick. At his book signing in Chicago, drove there, waited in line, met him, snuck in a picture that I took 30 years ago at a concert. And because you weren't supposed to bring anything up there, just your camera to get your picture. And I had on my Bruce Springsteen E Street Band crew jacket my daughter got me off eBay. I had the picture tucked up under me in a frame and the jacket, and walked up, and this was a moment I will just always get chills from. I pulled out that picture. Bruce and I looked at it. It was him and Clarence kissing on stage.
Oh,
Bruce
wow.
slid across the stage. It was with an old 35 millimeter camera. That's how long ago it was.
Yes.
And I snapped the picture. I didn't know until I developed it, if it turned out or not. You didn't know. And they're kissing on the lips. Clarence bent down with his saxophone. Bruce slid across the stage. They kissed on the lips. It's a perfect picture. And I saved it all these years to give to Bruce, I just said, someday people said, why don't you sell it? I said, no, I have to give it to Bruce. I have to give the first one to Bruce. And he looked down at it, and I didn't know what I was going to say. I just said, do you remember this? And he said, I sure do. Just as unique. He just, the way he said it was just so heartfelt. And I just will never forget it. And then as I was leaving the store, I gave it to him. As I was leaving the store, a guy in a suit was carrying the picture, and I was walking by me, and he said to a guy next to him, he said, we got to make sure that this gets in Bruce's bag.
That's awesome.
Picture.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I believe it's in his house, in his studio somewhere.
It most likely is, Robin, and I appreciate you calling in. We got to get going. Thanks so much, and hopefully Bruce is doing some yoga to work out that whole issue there.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get one more call before we take a break, and then we've got to get Donna from Bruce Funds up. This is Lorraine in Buffalo, a first-time caller. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always having a good time here doing these Thursday morning shows again during the tour. Although, unfortunately, I know we're all bummed out that there's nothing for the rest of this month.
Yeah.
No. We had our bags packed, ready to go. We were going to Syracuse and then heading down to Pittsburgh. Non-refundable hotel, so we'll see what we're going to do about that. But, I'm glad we got to see him in Buffalo. And
the Pittsburgh show was when? So Syracuse was tonight.
Tuesday. Syracuse is tonight. Pittsburgh was going to be on Tuesday.
Yeah, two shows.
Two shows at Pittsburgh.
12th and the 14th. Yeah. Ah, wow.
Yep. Yeah. So, I'm originally from Garfield, New Jersey. So,
all right.
Jersey girl.
Yeah.
And, everybody's bummed, but the main thing is that, he gets healthy because, he's given so much for all these years, and the fans will be there for him the way he's been there for us.
Yeah. He just, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Just pass along that everybody's rooting for him, which I'm sure he knows. But, we're just, kind of bummed, but he'll be back.
He will. He just needs some rest. Lorraine, good to talk with you. Thank you. And I know we're all bummed about this. The funny thing is that, through this whole thing, everybody that's got the non-refundable hotel will be doing some traveling. See, yes. You get to explore a city of the United States you may not have wanted to go see before, only because of a Bruce show. And now I'm going to go check out Albany.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it. Where am I going in Albany, JT?
Oh, yes. So, I would. My family's been to Albany numerous times. I recommend the Albany Pump Station. It's a great restaurant.
Okay.
Great restaurant.
All right. I'm going. That'll be my set. That'll be my night out in Albany.
Yeah, there you go.
When we get back, Donna from Bruce Funds will be checking in. I'm sure her world just got turned upside down with the postponement of all these shows from September. And more of your calls as we continue here on Live from East Street Nation. That's like my favorite version of Tougher Than the Rest. You can find that on the Chimes of Freedom EP. We're live from East Street Nation at 877-70 Bruce. Jim Rotolo, JT Mahoney, my guest co-host this week. And joining us on the hotline right now is our good friend Donna from Bruce Funds. Hi, Donna.
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, JT. Good morning, East Street Nation.
So I'm sure your whole world's just turned upside down in the past 24 hours.
Actually,
Are you laughing or crying? I just wanted to make sure.
laughing and crying is both an option. I think both is an option.
Okay.
There's so much going on, Jim, since last Wednesday, actually. I don't know where to begin, but I appreciate you taking my call.
Sure. Well, you were at night one in MetLife Stadium. I saw you there. It was great to see you.
Yeah, I was actually lucky enough to be able to attend all three because I had dog care. So
that's right. Good. Somebody watched your dog. That's right. We talked about that the last time we were on here. Good.
Nice.
Yes, it's the little things, you know. It was a wonderful experience for me. Those 3 nights, I got to meet people I had been corresponding with for a very long time, to get to meet them face to face. A lot of donors of tickets stopped by and said hello, and it was really wonderful to just put, faces to names.
Yeah.
So I'm really appreciative of that opportunity. I'm not at a lot of shows where we can get together. So it was wonderful to have that parking lot experience, so to speak.
Yeah,
Although
it was a great time.
I did run into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I heard you were you're causing trouble out there. What was going on?
Yeah, she was a dud stuck in the mud, right? So, so I have this big banner that says Bruce Funds because I wanted people to know how to reach me and find me,
Right.
And I had a couple of conversation starters, which are T-shirts that I purchased to give away, and some of Camille's hats to give away to anyone who showed up. And Live Nation merch authorities pulled up and told me in no uncertain terms I had to put everything away immediately or I would be escorted off the property. I explained I wasn't selling anything, but it didn't matter. They felt that even my name, Bruce Funds, said otherwise or gave the impression otherwise.
Yeah, with the word funds, they probably thought some kind of money is being exchanged, maybe.
Sure, maybe. I'm certainly not going to mess around with these guys. They were very serious about their business, and I understand a little bit more now. There's like a T-shirt war thing that goes on with
the bootleggers,
knockoff T-shirts.
Yeah.
So there was I learned about a new element to live performances that I never knew before.
Yeah, I should mention, Donna, really quick to those that don't know, when you're leaving a concert and there's people selling T-shirts for $15 or $20, those are not authentic, and the band or the artist nobody makes any money off them other than the people that are selling them. They're usually awful quality, so don't buy those shirts. Buy from the artists themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and it's considered illegal.
Yeah,
because at least at MetLife there are signs, which I never saw before, that there is no solicitation allowed on the property of any kind.
Oh,
so,
okay. I never noticed them, but I'm
to
sure
the
they are.
wise.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the things you find out afterwards, hindsight. So anyway, the lemonade from those lemons is that thanks to Amy Lofgren, I got a chance to have a phone conversation with Mr. George Travis.
Oh, great.
And after 11 years of kind of just being, word of mouth type of thing through E Street Radio or through Dave Marsh and Barbara Carr, I got to tell George a little bit about what it is I've been doing all this time, and he was very intrigued. So I hope that maybe there'll be some additional conversation, at least an acknowledgement perhaps of what I've been doing, and the right to continue to do so now that people are assured that I'm not selling tickets. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to fill a gap where people who have extra tickets, for anyone who doesn't know about what I'm doing, is people, fans who have extra tickets that they cannot sell or choose not to sell, they donate them through me, and I put them into the hands of people who have written into me to be considered for tickets. Oftentimes there's a medical situation or a financial situation, and really there's no money exchanged. It's just ticket to ticket.
Right.
It's a good way for a ticket not to go wasted, is how I basically explain it nowadays.
That's a good way to put it, JT.
It's a beautiful thing. I was about to say, I'm well aware of what you do as well through the Spring Nuts community, and I'm fortunate enough that I can get a ticket. But for those of the fans who can't, it's a really useful and helpful way of getting fans who want to see Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band to get them tickets.
Thank you for saying that, JT. It's kind of like a recycling program within the fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Tom.
Nothing's going to go to waste, So hopefully, I don't know. The last I heard, I might have to change the name. So, everything is as is until I hear otherwise. But it got me thinking. The name was created back in 2012 when it was just like 5 people, and we were literally pooling our funds, like who can chip in $25 a piece to buy a ticket for somebody. So we were pooling funds to see Bruce. So that is how the original name came about. Maybe it's time to rebrand. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
But the premise remains that it's simply getting tickets that would otherwise go wasted into the hands of fans who can't afford to go.
Right,
so.
Right. And you did that quite a bit on this last go-around here in MetLife.
Oh my goodness, I'm still counting for MetLife, but I think we are in the neighborhood of 150 tickets over the 3 nights.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That is
it's
really
really
something.
Been beautiful.
So now what?
So
now what happens with obviously the news of the shows being postponed in September? So what happens now with that?
Well, it happened. I experienced it first in March. My own shows included. Albany and Mohegan Sun. Rescheduled now for a second time, along with Columbus for a second time. So. It's the original purchaser's right to have the ticket back. Ticketmaster states that very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Most people do not request the ticket back. Most people honor it and feel that it's already gone through to another person and it's in their account. But some people are requesting they get their tickets back, and all I'm asking for is a little bit of time and patience to make sure I get the right ticket back to them after I tell the recipient that I have to work through it to get them additional tickets from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump right now, but I am very excited about what's to come. For the shows that are in November, I have some campaigns lined up that I'm going to put up onto the website, and I hope that people, it really resonates with people, and we can help some fans. Vancouver and out in California, and the other locations are slipping my mind at the moment.
Right.
But he's going up to Canada in places he's never been before.
I know, and everybody's excited about that. I've got people on hold from Canada that are, I'm sure those tickets are going to be the hot tickets now. I mean, with these shows being postponed, I mean, everybody's going, Canada's going to get a big influx of Americans coming in November.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, Winnipeg is one of, I have a campaign going to go up for someone in Winnipeg, and I know that people have long wanted him to play there. So I'm hoping that, it gets me a chance to meet some new people, develop some new contacts, and hopefully help more people. Ultimately, that's my personal goal, is to help as many people as possible. So we just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, that's it. We wish Bruce speedy recovery, and he's happy and healthy again, and then and that he can get back on stage in November and finish out this year, and then the new year starts off, and whatever happens after that. And these shows again will be rescheduled at some point, and Donna will be very busy once again.
I might take a nap first.
I said you should get some rest. By the way,
yeah.
You have the rest of the month off, pretty much.
Oh, I wish. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, JT. It was a pleasure to speak with you today.
It was as for us as well, Donna. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.
Great, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. There's Donna. Once again, it's brucefunds.org if you want to find out more about what Donna does, and if you want to help out and get people to a Bruce Springsteen show. There's different hardships and stories that are up there. The stories you can read, again, on brucefunds.org. We'll take a break, and we'll wrap up the show the last half hour with your calls. We've got people that have been patiently holding. Thank you for your patience as JT and I continue through the rest of the Live from East Street Nation show for this week. Let's Be Friends from The Rising. JT, you requested that one. Tell me about that one. Why?
I've always been a fan of that one, truthfully. I mean, Bruce has only played it once, and on the Rising tour in 2003. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We were just saying how it's a song that's so upbeat on a very serious album, like The Rising.
Yeah. No, that's true. And that's the thing. It's like some of those songs, I think, sometimes get lost in the shuffle, or we'll say lost in the flood, because they just, again, when you have such, songs like The Rising and You're Missing and Lonesome Day and Into the Fire and Empty Sky, and then you have these upbeat songs from that album, like Let's Be Friends, or Waiting on a Sunny Day,
Mary's Place.
Yeah. It's like the balance of that album, but we kind of tend to more, because we're getting towards, September 11th, this time of year.
Yes.
You start to think about more of the heavier songs from that album than the more lighter ones. And meanwhile, he's been playing Mary's Place almost every night on the tour.
Yeah, I think I saw I was in Belmont Park, but I was back in April. I saw it for the second time on the tour, so.
Yeah. So it's Live from East Street Nation, 877-70-BRUCE. JT Mahoney's my guest co-host this week. I should mention, I'm going to do it right now. This was announced yesterday. The Bruce Springsteen Archives and Center for American Music at Monmouth University, they're going to have a symposium on my birthday, Saturday, October 28th, to celebrate Springsteen's landmark second album, the 50th anniversary of the release of The Wild, the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. It's going to be a day-long event. There's going to be panel discussions, interviews, musical performances of the songs from the album that are going to be performed by musicians from the area. There's a pop-up exhibit as well. Original E Street band members, music industry legends, and other special guests will be there. Now, the tickets are going to go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. and I'm trying to get I posted the link up on my my Facebook page, The Wild and the Innocent with Jim Rotolo. You can also go to Springsteen Archives. Let me make it there. SpringsteenArchives.org, and you'll see the link there to buy the tickets as well. And they go on sale tomorrow, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're going to be in Asbury Park or down the shore area, it's going to be taking place at Monmouth University, which is a beautiful campus and a good day to celebrate a fantastic album, the 50th anniversary of The Wild and the Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. All right, we've got some calls we got to get to. We've got people that have been holding for quite a bit. Terrence in New Jersey, hello, you're on Live from E Street Nation. Terrence, are you there? Oh, Terrence, you've been holding for so long. I don't want to not get you on the air. Going once, going twice. Sorry about that, Terrence. Call back quick before the show wraps. Here's Dan in New York. Hi.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Good. How's it going?
It's good. I'm here in Syracuse. I came out yesterday for the show. Obviously not happening, but trying to make the most of it. And we're on the edge of wine country here, so might be making a visit to a winery and maybe try and grab a hike in before I head home.
Good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we do. We got to pivot, right? I mean, COVID taught us that.
Right. Well, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah. But I wanted to call and just talk about the Sunday night MetLife show. I was there the second time that I've been to New Jersey to see Bruce. The last one was a while ago on the Wrecking Ball tour.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, that show blew me away Sunday night. And it was something in the night that really landed home with me. Was sitting up in the upper section in one of the 300 sections, and I was looking around and just feeling the environment and the energy of the crowd. And the moon started to come up over the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there is power and there is magic and there is spirit in this place. And then, of course, we got Spirit in the Night. And it just felt like it was just on. And another treat for me was, of course, Jungle Land.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Night 3.
This is the first tour I've seen Bruce in multiple times. I've seen him live going back to 2003 on the Rising tour. But I've sort of been chasing Jungle Land for a while and sort of, kind of capturing the spirit of the show and his invitation to live every moment. I just decided, I spent way too much time in my apartment by myself during COVID lockdown. And when this tour was announced, I just said, I'm just going to go for it. And, I mean, I'm still having trouble finding words for that show because it was it's so uplifting, and full of energy. And, the people who have told me to go see Bruce in New Jersey were not lying.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes me feel good.
Go do it, and
maybe go see the last show of the run. That might be a good idea to do as well.
Yeah, yeah, night 3 at MetLife.
It's funny. We were talking about. I was at all 3 shows, and I was talking with several people that were going to all 3, or at least 2 out of the 3. And night 1 and night 2 were amazing. We got different songs. We got Sherry Darling in night 1, and we got Spirit in the Night in night 2. And these are like, to me, I always felt like staple songs of a Bruce Springsteen concert. It's like, how do you not have Spirit in the Night or Sherry? Well, Sherry Darling maybe not so much, but Spirit in the Night seems to be always played at a Bruce concert, which I'm happy about personally. So these songs started to come in because these are the older songs. These are the classics, we'll call them, that you expect to hear at a Bruce Springsteen concert. And then we get to night number 3, and everybody's sort of like, is he going to change things? Is it going to be different? This is the final show. Will we get something different? Will we get Cheeseburger in Paradise because Jimmy Buffett died the day before, or Margaritaville? Right. By the way, Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes did a tribute. They did Margaritaville at the Stone Pony Summer Stage on Saturday night, and they did an awesome job with it.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Awesome.
But everybody, there was such anticipation of night 3 in East Rutherford, and I have to agree with you 100%, Dan. It was just something special about the night there, and maybe it was something in the night. Maybe it was just the atmosphere. There was the people. It was a gorgeous night weather-wise. It was a little hotter than the other 2, but I mean, you're in New Jersey and you hear, I'm looking at the set list right now. You've got towards the encores, you go from The Rising to Badlands to Thunder Road to Jungle Land, Born to Run, Rosalita. I mean, that combination of songs right there is out of this world.
That's a nice block right there.
Yeah, that's an amazing block. Then he changes it up with the Detroit medley, Dancing in the Dark, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, and then wrapping up with Jersey Girl, which was the first time on the entire tour Oh man, no, maybe he did.
He did it at the Prudential Center too.
He did it at Prudential Center. That's when it premiered. I know, but did he finish that show that night with "I'll See You in My Dreams," or did he rap with Jersey Girl?
At the Prudential Center, yeah, he wrapped up with the Jersey Girl opened up the encore that night with that.
Right, that's what I thought. That's
Yeah.
what but this was the only show on the tour. I believe he didn't rap with "I'll See You in My Dreams." So
I think that's correct. Yeah.
yeah, so something different. It was just a great experience, Dan. So go for a hike and then hit up the winery.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably the proper order.
Do it in that order. Yeah, don't drink wine and go for a hike.
Oh,
That's probably that may not work out well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to send out some well wishes to Bruce. We're all thinking of him. We know the news, but we'll all be here when he's back. So
yeah.
Thanks for taking my call, Jim. It was great to talk to you.
You as well, Dan. Thanks for calling and enjoy your time up in Syracuse. All right, Jeff in Massachusetts. He was at all 3 shows at MetLife. Hi, Jeff.
How you doing, guys?
Fantastic. How's it going?
Hey.
All right, thanks. So I actually talked with JT a little bit on Wednesday night, and Jim, I introduced myself as you were running back and forth between the meeting people and being on the air on Wednesday as well. So it's great. I mean, I actually went to like 5 shows in a row. I went to both shows at Gillette and all 3 shows at MetLife. And the third show at MetLife, I actually bought my ticket on Wednesday as I was heading down. I said, I think something special is going to happen. I got to go to the last show as well. And Dan, was I right that something special happened? What an awesome ending to that 3-night stand.
Good for you. And that's awesome that you made the decision to – and I didn't know how many tickets were left for night 3. I think they kind of held some back because of the usually what they do is when they come into a stadium, they block out a section to build the stage. And then once they figure out the dimensions of the stage, they can add more seat. They can realize that more people could sit in these seats and watch the band, so they can release those and they put them on sale.
Correct. Yeah.
Where did you sit, Jeff, for the third show?
The third show, I was in section 135, and I actually bought a verified, retail ticket on Ticketmaster.
Okay.
And it was basically the same price as if I had bought it originally anyway. So, because there were seats right near there that were original, had not been bought yet, and I was like, I'm actually spending like 60 cents less for this verified retail ticket than through Ticketmaster. So, yeah.
Was there
it's just amazing.
Was there a favorite moment of any of the shows? Was there a certain song that he played that like just blew you away?
Well, I mean,
special than any other one.
Well, obviously, the second time he's only played Jungle Land on this tour. I mean, it's great to have the tour debuts. As you already mentioned, Sherry Darling, and I agree with you, Spirit of the Night, which I'm surprised they haven't played a lot from Greetings, even though it's 50 years for that album as well.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
But Jungle Land is the song that introduced me to Bruce in the winter of 1976. And I got to meet a whole bunch of people that I only knew online. I mean, people like
wait, you just drove through drove through a big cloud or something there, Jeff. What happened to you?
No, that's my GPS is telling me where to be driving right now. So it's beeping.
All right, I got to let you go, Jeff. I'm sorry. It's good to talk with you. It was getting all like kind of weird and distorted there, and I wanted to get to some more calls. But thank you for calling in, Jeff. 877-70-BRUCE, 877-702-7823. This is Dell in Cleveland?
Dell in Cleveland.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jim?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, so I was fortunate enough to see Max Weinberg Tuesday night with Max Weinberg's Jukebox here in Cleveland.
Cool. What'd you think?
Yes, it was very cool. It was a great show. I had no idea what to expect, but I was really entertained by the end of the night. But I think Max knew on Tuesday night about the cancellations because he told everybody in the audience Bruce would be back in Ohio in 2024, not mentioning the upcoming Columbus shows in a week or two.
Oh, okay.
Wow, okay.
So, yep, I think he was aware at the time, but he said Bruce would be back in Ohio in 2024.
Yeah, I think that's where everything is sort of pointing to. I mean, it's not, to reschedule shows, even though there's nothing happening in October, there's no other tour show scheduled for October, trying to reschedule venues that quick is probably not possible. So
it's not that easy.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm sure the logistics are tough with all that.
Yeah. So it looks like they'll turn it around and maybe it's September of 2024. Maybe it's May. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be some announcements at some point, figuring out what's going to be the next phase for next year.
I mean, as my family works in the record industry. I mean, my aunt managed Elton John and Jimmy Buffett. God rest his soul. And she booked Elton John from MetLife Stadium and every date on his farewell tour. So it is very difficult to reschedule those dates when something like this happens.
And usually that's done a year out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They have it all planned out. But then when something like this happens, they have to scramble and figure it all out. So yeah.
I would tell anybody who has the chance to see Max Jukebox to absolutely go into it, because it's an interactive show. He walks around with the crowd with a microphone and talks to people. It was just a really fun night.
100%. I've seen it show a few times here when it comes to New York or New Jersey. It is a must, and it's a great night out. It's you're singing along with the band. You know all the songs because it's all the hits from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yep.
And he has a killer band that he plays with, and he's so awesome with the crowd.
The Weaklings are a great band.
That they are.
Yes, they are amazing.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, we'll keep an eye out for Max Weinberg tour dates.
Woo!
There
Absolutely.
You go. All right.
Jump on it if you get the chance.
Yep. Go see him. All right. Good to talk with you, Del. I got to run. We got to get some more calls in. We got one more to get, actually, before we wrap up for this week. So let's do that right now. What do I got here? Let me make sure I got this correct. It's Berto in Ontario. Do I have that right? Hi, what's your first name?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Humberto.
Hi. It's Jim and JT. You're on the air. How you doing?
How you doing today? Sorry, I lost you there for a minute.
All right, all good. So it says here you're taking to your son to the first Bruce concert. When's that happening?
Yeah, so in Toronto in November.
Okay.
On the 16th. Yeah, so my son's, he's 13 years old. He's got Down syndrome, and he's considered the biggest Bruce Springsteen fan at our trailer park. They have the dances for the kids, and he's constantly, and it's everything from Pay Me My Money down to 10th Avenue to Mary's Place, which is one of his favorites right now.
Oh, nice.
So he tells me that when we go to the concert, he tells me he's gonna personally ask Bruce to play Mary's Place for him.
Ah, okay.
So I'm really hoping they play it, but it'll be our first concert to ever go see Bruce. So we're really excited about it, and hopefully it'll be a good experience for him.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be, and I'm hoping that he does play Mary's Place quite a bit on this tour. So I'm hoping that gets in the set for your son. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But even if it's not that, it's even 10th Avenue, because 10th Avenue, he watches Bruce on YouTube quite a bit. With the 10th Avenue Freeze Out with the 19-minute version.
Oh wow!
From Madison Square Garden or something.
And that's his favorite, and he mimics the boss and all his actions and everything he does, and if it's not singing into a microphone, he's playing the drums in the truck while we're listening to E Street Radio, and mimicking Max, or with his clarinet, Max mimicking Jake and Clarence.
Ah, that's great.
Awesome.
That's great. Well,
it's pretty awesome to see. So he's really excited about it, and hopefully, hope Bruce gets well. And we look forward to seeing him.
Yeah, and I hope by that time he'll be back up on stage, and then you and your son can go see an awesome show and have a wonderful experience. It's good to talk with you. I've got to run because we're going to wrap up the show, but thank you for calling.
Thank you for taking the call.
All right, take care. All right, JT, that was it. Did you have fun?
This was a delight, Jim.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's you want to pick the last song before we go?
Sure, why not?
What did you want to hear?
Well, since I'm on radio, can we do Radio Nowhere?
Yeah, that we definitely can do. I love that. That was my go-to song when there were technical difficulties here, which we've had over the years. It happens once in a while.
The Magic album was like the first Bruce album, like the newest Bruce album that came out when I was in 4th or 5th grade, and I was still am by the recording of that album.
That's awesome. Very cool. All right, so E Street Nation, our job is to send well wishes and prayers to Bruce, and that he has a nice fast recovery and he's feeling better. And when he's ready to go, he'll be back out on the stage and with the E Street Band. And whenever that happens, we'll be there for him, as we've been throughout all these years. Thank you so much, E Street Nation. Thank you, JT Mahoney, for being my guest, the co-host this week. Thank you to Howie Chaz from Spring Nuts, and also Donna Gray from BruceFunds.org as well for joining us this week as well. We're going to wrap it up with Radio Nowhere. Tomorrow, I'm live. The Wild and the Innocent with Jim Rotolo. We'll be having a nice, fun topic. And until the next time. Oh, wait, I want to mention, that's right, JT, you gave me these awesome magnets. There's one that says Scooter and the Big Man Bust the City in Half, which has the Bruce and Clarence back-to-back logo. And then also there's one with Bruce shouting out, "Is anybody alive out there?" Tell me about these magnets quick.
So, really quick. So, a friend of mine, I met through Spring Nuts, Tom Lynch, he's a really good friend of mine. We both had the idea of saying, hey, we love to share our love for Bruce on our cars when we drive around and whatnot. And he said, hey, what if we were to do the image on the 10th Avenue Freeze-Out one is actually the shot of Bruce at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right.
With Clarence at his back for the opening of the Super Bowl halftime show from 2009. And Is There Anybody Alive Out There is the other one from just his iconic saying, "Is there anybody alive out there?" It's awesome. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys both for bringing these magnets for me.
Yep, they're for you, Jim.
Thank you so much. I'm going to, tomorrow when I wrap up the show with the set list, I'll take a photo on the board here with the magnets. So they'll be up on the social media pages. Wrapping it up with Radio Nowhere. Thank you so much, E Street Nation.